Action.
Yeah. Shut up. I just need to reset my inner chakras. Hello! Welcome back to our studio. I am, as you might well know, Teemu. There's a person to my left.
The expert. Janne. Right?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Counter-Strike.
Yes, we're gonna talk about Counter-Strike. Today we're
Great.
gonna talk about a specific Counter-Strike tournament that's called Blast Pro Premier Spring 2020.
Is it really called Blast Pro anymore, or is it just Blast Premier? I'm actually confused.
I'm actually confused now also. Either way, it's gonna blast something.
Everybody knows Blast.
Yeah,
Let's
everybody
leave
knows
it there.
Blast. Let's keep it that way.
Sure.
So Blast did few changes to their format, which I personally think are good.
To be fair, to add on top of that, I think everybody's quite happy this actually changed.
Yeah. So no more best of ones, no more tournaments every other 3 weeks or something all over the globe.
Good.
So, yay!
People listening to feedback. Good.
So what's happening now is Blast Pro Premier Spring 2020. It's an offline event in London in 3 Mill Studio. We have 12 invited teams, but before that, let's talk a bit about the format. So we have a group stage that's going to run from 31st of January until 16th of February. We have 3 double elimination format groups. Each group has 4 teams. All matches are best of 3. Choo-choo!
Awesome.
Nice!
No, seriously, that's great. I mean, and double elimination, good.
Even
Best of
better.
3, good.
Yes, everything's fantastic.
Yep.
Top 2 teams from each group advance to the spring finals, and the bottom 2 teams from each group advance to spring showdown. Right, here comes the kick. Spring showdown doesn't have dates yet, but it's gonna have 10 teams, which 6 of them are gonna come from the regular season, and 4 is to be announced. I don't know which way, there's no information about that yet. But
All right.
the spring showdown will have $325,000 in this prize pool. And yeah, like I said, location, everything is TBA. But then there's the spring finals, which happens in June. There's gonna be 8 teams. 6 of them come from the spring regular season.
Okay.
So the 2 top teams from each group go to the spring finals. And then 2 more will advance from the spring showdown. Now,
That's actually cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
so
cool format.
spring finals have $725,000 in the prize pool.
Pretty juicy.
Yeah, and we know that the tournament is going to be held in Moscow, the finals.
Yep. Correct.
One thing I forgot to add earlier about the spring regular season is that the prize pool is $300K.
Sure.
So there's a good amount of money on the table. To the point, which I'm going to get into very soon, but before the point, subscription button. Press it now. Thanks. Teams of Spring 2020.
Do you want to go through them all?
I'll go through them all and then let's start talking about it
All right.
more. Yeah. So we have 100 Thieves, we have Australis, Complexity Gaming, Evil Geniuses, FaZe Clan, G2 Esports, Team Liquid, MiBR, Navi, Ninjas in Pyjamas, OG, and Team Vitality.
There it is.
There it is. 12 teams, 12 good teams. So, needless to say, this tournament is loaded, like you like to say.
There was some small drama about some teams not getting an invite, and so it's a little bit sad we don't have Planet ML Sports there, because that would make this really, that would be amazing. But
Who would you drop out?
I think, personally, we at least... MiBR, I think, is one of them. What else? I mean, realistically, OG maybe, but I want to see OG, so I think a lot of people do. Well, I think there's actually at least 5-6 teams that are worse than both of them. So whatever, it doesn't really matter. But either way, it's a very stacked tournament.
Yeah,
so
I would say we have, if there's 12 teams in a tournament, there's always some that you would prefer having someone else. But
for sure.
Then again, we're going to see great Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and well, the drama surrounding that, whatever, it's all said and done, and this is what we have, and it will be an amazing tournament, I'm sure about that.
So we've you've chosen 3 teams you want to talk about. I'm gonna name the team, and then you can say what you want to say, and then I'll add something.
I just want to say this. It was really hard because I feel this year in Counter-Strike is super exciting because almost there's something surrounding every single team. There's changes, or there's, they underperformed last year, they need to come back and so on, or like, can they continue their great run and so on. But
okay.
Let's go to the 3 I choose.
Yeah. Astralis.
Well, okay. I had to take them just because it's obvious that they will be the favorite to win. They won last year's Blast, and, well, for my money, they are the best team in Counter-Strike history. I don't even think there is anything to discuss anymore. The consistency they have, the dominance, like when they are on point, nobody can even challenge them. So, my question is, can they do it one more year? And I think so. It's really hard to see somebody taking over the number 1 spots, at least without Astralis giving them a real run for it. So,
yeah, and the thing with Australis is that even though they had their slump, they came back from it even stronger.
They came back
and
really
they looked scary good.
Berlin Major, they were a train. It was crazy. And honestly...
Was it Bang Train?
Don't do that. So, we might call it a slump, and I understand why. But at the same time, I don't think a team can ever be on top consistently every single month of the year. They needed a break probably. They had a lot of traveling, whatever. I can give them some slack there, I really just see them as...
Well,
absolutely
you can give them as much slack as you want. A slump, it's a slump.
Sure. But it happens.
And they did, but the point is that they got back stronger, and if other teams don't come up with something absolutely super genius, they're gonna be fucked.
Sure. I just want to mention one thing quickly, since it's been, this is another thing that has been discussed a lot lately, the HLTV top 10 or top 20 rankings. A lot of people have opinions, and it's been quite fun to follow, and I think it's kind of interesting that Device, he's number 3, he's been top 26 years in a row, which is fantastic in itself. It's, I think it's up for debate if he's maybe the best Csgo player of all time, because the consistency that he has is just amazing. Maybe he doesn't have the highest peak, I understand. Saiwu and Simple, their peaks are higher, but Devices... Like, which player would you want in your team? Well, for my money, it's probably Device, honestly. And, well, he was number 3 this year, and I think he definitely had an argument to be number 2 over Simple. Saiwu number 1, I can't say much about, but I just wanted to mention it. It was a fun discussion about it.
So just to what you just said, I do agree that Device probably should have been above Simple, but Saiwu is the best player at the moment.
Yeah,
he is consistent. But the thing is, if you compare Saiwu and Device, is that Device has a consistent team around him. Saiwu has 4 trash bags. So, okay, not trash bags.
okay.
But in comparison, when you compare Vitality and Astralis, Device has it all, and Saiwu is kind of the lonely wolf.
I mean, there's no argument for me. Saiwu is number 1, but Device should have been number 2 in my opinion.
Team number 2.
Yes.
Natus Vincere.
Okay, so we get to Simple, and, Navi has had a really tough time for a really long time, And I think it's really about time that they step up. It's really, if 2020 is a Navi's year, what are they gonna do? It's getting ridiculous. They have a player who should be able to be the best player in the world. And the results don't reflect that at all. They also have Electronic. He was, I think, number 6 on the rankings.
Yeah.
You have number 2 and number 6, but you don't perform at all. It's crazy. But I think, honestly, and we've been on about this before, Guardian has not worked out at all in Navi. It's, well, I'm sad about it. And the only thing I'm happy about is that, well, we predicted it. I really never thought it would be a good solution for the Guardian to go back to Navi, and well, here we are. It's time to change him out again, apparently. So there's been some rumors about, I don't know, we're probably up to 10 players soon who should replace him, but the latest one, and I read about it yesterday, is Perfecto from Simon, which is, I don't know, it might work, might not work. I think it's a good change if Simple can go back to main opping. I think that's what they need, because that's where he can shine the most. And
Simple needs his freedom. He's an artist.
Yeah, and I think, you know, if he can get that freedom and they can get the train rolling, because it's not like, you know, at one point in time they had Simple opping, but they didn't really have much around that.
Yeah.
Flamey was not in his prime anymore and so on, and now they have Electronic, who's an amazing player and can be that second rifle star, you know. So let's see what happens. I'm super excited to see what happens, because the change seems to be sure that it will happen. So here we go again. Navi's coming in. Another year, another change. Let's see what happens. But I really hope they perform for once. So
yeah. And if not, I'm gonna say that if Navi doesn't see results during the spring,
yeah,
Simple is out. He's gonna go somewhere else. He wants to win.
I mean, that is probably true, but at the same time, they might rebuild Navi around Simple, but with other players. So then again, I don't know what the options are, to be honest. In CIS, in the region, you can't really find, I think, many better players than they already have.
Yeah.
But
fair. Then the last you wanted to mention is Vitality.
Yeah, apparently I like Superstars. So look, watching Saiwu play right now is just so much fun. And honestly, I think, you know, after the change where they got Shocks in last year, they have looked both great and terrible. Yeah. That's it. Like, it's there's almost no in between. It's either or.
It's an inconsistent roller coaster, just going up and down, up and down, up and down.
It is. Well, what I want to mention is, though, that they managed to win Epicenter in December, and that was a good result, because we had Navi, Mousesports, and EG was in that tournament, I think. And they won the final against Mousesports, and Mousesports have looked really good.
Blooming at the time.
Yeah, they have looked amazingly good. So I think that's a big step for Vitality to win Epicenter, and I'm super excited to see if they can, you know, get the package together, because obviously they live and die by Saiwu. But if they can actually get it all working, I mean, it doesn't even have to work perfectly when you have a player like Saiwu. That's the thing.
It's... The problem I see with Vitality is the fact that they live and die by Saiwu, because if Saiwu isn't on his absolute prime on every game, and the other players aren't feeling it or something, they can't do anything, and that's kind of... When I said Saiwu is surrounded by 4 trash bins, obviously I was a bit harsh.
Yes,
and it's not true, because Vitality can win tournaments, they can win big teams, they can do it, but it's still they rely too much on one player.
Well, that's true, but I also think we saw last year that all the players in Vitality can step up and be really, really good. I think they all had at least one tournament each where they played amazingly, you know? And let's see, maybe the tank can, you know, bring them back. French CS will be back.
My prediction is that the tank is out before we see summer.
Okay. Well, anyway.
He's been really inconsistent, but...
Sure. Anyway, I'm just super excited about to see what Vitality can do in 2020, because obviously I think they are one of the teams that have the potential to at least be a top 3 team. They can challenge Astralis on a good day. Who knows what can happen? At the same time, I can put them, you know, outside top 10, you know. It's crazy, but I'm super excited to see them play. It's always fun to see Saiwu play, so that's why I just wanted to bring them up. But I think, to mention, there's a lot of interesting teams. I'm super excited about seeing what OG can do, what FaZe can do. You know, this NIP now without Forest, who knows? You know, because I think NIP has looked good lately, with Forest obviously, but now, you know, there's a lot of exciting things going on. So,
a lot of great Counter-Strike coming in. We are surely going to be follow it very closely.
And thank you, Blast, for best of 3s.
Thank you, Blast.
Thank you very much.
It's something we all wanted, and now you fulfilled our dreams. I can sleep in peace. Thank you for watching another episode of our weekly. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Yeah. And we will see you in a week.
Maybe you should go now and write some poems, because that was pretty beautiful.
Maybe I'll do that.
So, maybe he can read you. Maybe...
C'est la vie. Ciao.
Bye-bye.